home. Westbrook, Haynes on the rim.
I love Russ.
I was ashamed by that performance. Like, I had secondhand embarrassment to the point where I had to stop watching the game. In the world where you have to win, a must win, at minimum, give me your effort. At minimum, give me your energy. At minimum, try. At minimum.
Yeah.
The Clippers did not even attempt to physically exert the energy necessary to win that game. So often people will suggest, I feel bad for this person. They never got a championship. I don't. You got to go earn a championship.
Yep.
Shady knows he's won a couple. James knows he's won one. When Chase is sitting in that chair, he knows he's won one. Championships are not given. They are earned. And the Clippers did not even bother to try and earn that championship. I will address James Harden momentarily. But for now, Rick, how embarrassing was the Clippers' Game 7 loss?
Flat out. Pretty damn. Painfully so. No, they played for 20 minutes. They played for 20 minutes in a Game 7. And we just talked about it with the Warriors and the Houston Rockets. Game 7s, they are a truth serum. They are like wealth. They don't change you. They just reveal who you are. And this is why the Clippers have never come close to winning a championship. Because ultimately, to your point, if you lose, it's one thing. But when you give in, which is what they did, just across the board. Even Kawhi Leonard, who we've been praising through this series, had the largest plus-minus in this game, a minus 33. Where does your leadership come from? We talked about the intangibles with Steph Curry and all of the little dirty work stuff that he was doing in order to embolden his teammates, to inspire them to play. Who is doing that for the Los Angeles Clippers? When you see James Harden has 10 assists and 7 points in the first half, and then 3 assists and no points in the second half. And that's the guy who primarily has the ball in his hands. I know we're going to talk more about James later, but to me, that's a microcosm. Who is leading this team? It's from the very beginning. It's why I had the Nuggets winning it, even though as a roster, the Clippers have a better roster. They have all of the talent and the pieces that you want. But ultimately, if you don't have that driving force somewhere, it doesn't have to necessarily even be your best player. Somebody has to have that. This is what this means. This is our last chance. Let's go get it. And the Clippers simply do not have that on this roster.
Yeah, that was shameful performance, man. That was terrible. Yeah. Right? Everybody and their mama was up for this game.
Yep.
Right? Clippers versus the Nuggets, right? It's been back and forth. And I didn't really see an edge because obviously, Jokic is Jokic, right? But on the other side, they got James Harden and they got Kawhi Leonard, right? And then we don't act like Tyronn Lue ain't no hell of a coach, right? They go out there like that and lay that type of egg? I just think about all right, what are the advantages in basketball? What are the advantages in sports? You got veterans, okay? You got vets, and you got championships. Kawhi Leonard, he won some chips, right? You look at, even though James Harden hasn't been phenomenal in Game 7s or elimination games, but he's a veteran. He's been around the block. Then I look at that part. Then I look at experience. Then I look at who has the better roster, the Clippers.
No doubt.
If you're going to lose again. You at home, you away, lose a game.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like that, let me give you some notes real quick,
Please
right?
do.
Because I don't even do the numbers, but I just had to tell you about these numbers. Kawhi Leonard had 22 points, okay? He shot 46% from the field, and he was 50% from three. I think 2 for 4. So that's pretty good, right? Good. The other 4 starters, James Jones, Slick, Acho, 38 points. 4 starters, 38 points? What is that? What is that? You going home. And it looks like y'all are okay with going home. I'm watching the game like, there's no tomorrow. Yeah. And there's teams that play and fight like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. And there's other teams that play like, well, I'm okay with going home tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's what the Clippers did. And that's embarrassing.
And that's what it looked like. So obviously I'm a football coach, but every now and then I'll step in as basketball coach. But usually I'm just basketball dad on the sideline, Slick. I tell my kids in the car, if you do not want to see me yell, just give max effort, dog. Dive on the ground.
What type of yelling you be doing? That's crazy. If you don't want to see me yell, do this.
Hey, that's the pep talk in the car. Hey, man, because my kids are getting in the car. Daddy, quit here. I got you. If you give me max effort, I won't be sliding you. Hey, I stay out of it. Once you don't show me max effort, boy, the whole stadium finna hear me. Tyronn Lue, I'm gonna start with you. Not one timeout I seen you get on them dudes. Not one timeout I seen none of that. Not one timeout. James Harden. Every single time they scanned to the bench on a timeout, you was like this. Or you was like this. Kawhi Leonard, I know you don't talk a lot. You might not be that type of... Somebody say something. It's Game 7. They had no energy, no emotion, no nothing. Everybody was just going with the flow. You're down by 33. Nobody said nothing. There was no energy, no effort, no nothing. In a Game 7, they told me those are the 2 greatest words in sports. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. And I couldn't tell by the 2 superstars. I couldn't tell at all. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Not one of the leaders stepped up and did nothing. Not one of the leaders showed anything. We talked about Steph Curry taking charges, setting screens. We talked about the meeting before. How much... We seen none of that, bro. This is Game 7.
And as much as we want to talk about stardom, James Harden, you shot... Wait, you had 7 points, though, bro?
On 8 shots.
Hold up, man. Let me get
go down swinging.
7.
Right? You're telling me how great you are.
As a scorer.
Because you don't play no defense.
None.
Right? You had 7 points.
That's what it say.
And another thing about this game of sports, man, when you at the elite level, the best of the best, sometimes your peers and opponents tell you what's going on. And as I watch this game, even though they get smoked, they get blown out, Russell Westbrook got in the game,
Come
right?
on, man.
He made a big steal. Now, they got about 29 points. Look at this for first. Look at this for a second. I'm going to get the technical. So what?
Okay.
I don't care. Now, look at this part, though.
Here we go.
When look what he says. He says, take them home. They soft butts. They soft. You see what he's saying?
Well, that's Game 7 energy.
And when you say that, right, it's bigger than him to showboat and all that, being excited. He's basically letting you know who I'm going against. I'm going against a team that has superstars that's flashy, but they are soft. And if you don't believe me, look at the score.
I love Russ.
And stuff like that is when you want to know about a team. Don't ask no media. Don't ask no interviews. Look at the player that's saying it. That's an MVP saying this other team I'm going against that I might respect. I don't know because they are soft. Send they soft butts home. Think about that for a second. Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, and I'm saying send they soft butts home. He's letting you know who they are. We don't fear y'all because y'all soft. We knew y'all was going to come in here and lay an egg like that. Not about 10 points, not about 20 points. We was beating about 30-something.
33.
That's embarrassing.
It is.
And Russell basically letting y'all know what's going on.
Last thought, Slick.
Look, this is what I loved about the Denver. This is why I picked the Denver Nuggets to win this series. And it was not just Nikola Jokic, but the small things, again, matter. Christian Brown came into this game. Christian Brown was on James Harden. And we see switching all the time. And Christian Brown, from the very beginning of that game, said, no, I'm not switching. I'm staying with him. Now, if I'm James Harden, that's Christian Brown. Come on, man. I am James Harden. You don't want to switch? Oh, you're going to be getting some of this. Yeah. But instead, can somebody else take care of this? That is what I just can't get over. And you're right with Ty. Ty never challenges his stars.
He doesn't.
You need a different equation for this Clippers team. You either need different superstars or you need somebody else pushing the button. I hate to say it.
No, that's exactly well said. I asked you during the game, does Ty Lue's tenure run out in the Clippers? Not because he's a bad coach. Obviously, he's a great coach, but whatever he is doing there with who he's doing it with is just not working. I believe 4 straight first-round exits, if I'm not mistaken, at least 3 of them for the Clippers. Not good in L.A. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.